Thank you very much. That's the
Randy.
Spelled the same as Dave Miller, but it's pronounced Mueller the way it should be. You know
I
Dave.
will get your meeting tonight.
Insects Limited.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
It's German, pronounced Miller, according to Dave.
It's hard.
see your face
It's an
again,
awful nice
right?
day.
I'm sorry?
One you can see your face again.
Oh, yeah.
I like this look
Follow
better.
Hunter around.
It was all the way shaven, and then decided this going again now.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
used to do
If you
that.
have.
can't ride a bike without that.
You look more dangerous.
That's so
I'm that
nice.
old.
Yeah, you
My
are.
eyes, I can
My
still.
Danger is
Yeah, your
my
eyes are
business,
young,
and
but
business is
Yeah.
good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just walk
around.
put that on the weekend long where you're
Watch it,
riding your bike.
watch it.
Yeah,
Then take it off during the week.
I get it just like glued on.
Today.
Yeah. It's been great. Ooh, that guy looks like a badass.
Like a goatee toupee.
Red one.
I saw Cisco out in the car.
All right, we better get started.
We better, because we don't want to lose Kate.
That's
I'm
right.
fine. I'm okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Call
We
the
have
City of Westfield Board of Public Works and Safety meeting to order for March 26, 2017. For April 26, 2017. Thanks, Kate. Glad you were here. Would you, staff, please note the presence of quorum?
We have a quorum.
Very good. So the first agenda item would be the consideration of minutes for approval from March 22nd, 2017. Having had time to review those, are there any additions, corrections, or discussion? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, minutes are approved. On to action item number 2, bid approval 2017 resurfacing project.
So we recently went to bid for resurfacing. Our estimated budget was $1.6 million. We had 4 bidders. Low bid was Baumgartner, which is a company we've used in the past. Their bid came in at $1,594,000 to cover everything that we were proposing. Asking for your approval to proceed with the contract with Baumgartner for 2017 resurfacing.
Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve action item number 2, bid approval 2017 resurfacing project. All in favor, say, oh, I guess I just
Moved.
seconded by the mayor. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Action,
Sorry, quick question, Jeremy. So
Blacktop.
is the matrix in there of the other vendors?
It is not attached here, but we can provide that to you.
That-
The bid tabs.
Yes,
Yeah, the bid
thank you.
Yep, we can send it to you.
4 or 5 bids, good pricing,
Four, yeah, they
good
range
tight
from.
bids, less than engineer's estimate, and I scared them.
Yeah, Mayor scared us a couple weeks prior to that. There was a bunch of NDOT lettings that were higher than the engineer's estimate, so. It was
Okay.
the perfect letting.
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
Good job.
I made a motion to approve, the mayor seconded.
Yes.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I wasn't sure.
I wasn't sure either.
We're making sure.
That's fine, we're making sure. We approved it twice.
I told you you couldn't ask a question.
Okay, I know, I'm sorry. It just occurred to me that usually they have the matrix and I didn't see the matrix. Okay, go ahead.
Action item number 3, quote approval 2017 asphalt rejuvenating project.
So RejuveTech is an asphalt sealant, preservative seal, if you will. When applied at the appropriate time, it extends the life of the asphalt, essentially doesn't allow moisture to soak into it, so you don't get the freeze and thaw effect. It runs off better. We started with a trial project last year. It turned out really well, so we've allocated some funds this year to do it again. We solicited bids to 3 different vendors, only received 1 back. They are really the only local company that does it at $84,543. This is also under our proposed budget, so. Do you remember how many miles of road that is?
I don't know off the top of my head.
What we like to do, the prime time for this is about 3 years old. Asphalt's about 3 years old, so it will still absorb, but it's not too compacted. So we're hitting all the roads that are eligible, primarily
Residential.
residential neighborhood streets. So.
Is this that process that has a fine sand
Yep.
laid down?
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
So that takes some communications with the residents?
Yep, and that's
Absolutely.
all included in the bid.
Okay.
The contractor does their portion of the communication, door hangers and whatnot, so.
And this doesn't involve surfaces that you're gonna paint, or does?
I don't know, it shouldn't.
Not many, and if so, this will likely be done before painting.
Yeah, in our residential areas, we don't have a lot of painting or markings.
Okay.
Right, just at the entrances mostly.
Yeah.
So our engineer deems this is a worthwhile product?
I do.
All right.
Any other discussion? Entertain a motion?
Make a motion to approve action item number 3.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve action item number 3, approval of 2017 asphalt rejuvenating project. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Do you have
Motion carried.
questions now?
I'm sorry, no.
On the first time.
On to action item number 4, resolution number 17-119, 2017 underground facilities.
State of Indiana last week passed a statute that would basically allow small satellite dishes to be placed anywhere within jurisdictions, regardless of zoning laws or any
I have a
other
photograph of one right here that's on our property.
restriction. They gave
Where is it?
municipalities
This whole
throughout
thing?
the state 1 week to address it, and this is how we address it. We require all additional facilities, utilities to be placed underground.
Okay.
And they would have to go through a process that we have yet to develop. But that'll probably be a location, licensing, distance between them, height restrictions, line of sight restrictions, I mean, things that nobody's even grappled with.
Right.
But
Phil
this is
will.
a universal response among quite a few municipalities now. This kind of resolution's been fired out by IACT and members, municipalities throughout the state. Request that you adopt it today.
And where is that?
This one is at 181 in Wheeler. And they're beginning to pop up.
And who owns, like, what,
Zayo owns that one.
who does?
Zayo,
What is
it's a
Zayo?
communications company.
They put in these devices and then they sell them, they sell that.
On our property? And that's okay, so that's what this is doing?
They
Yeah.
put them in the right of way, and a lot of times they like to put them on Duke poles, existing Duke poles and things like that. They have recently, Metro Light came to us wanting their own freestanding poles, and they wanted them up to 200 feet tall. So
In residential areas.
in residential areas, neighborhoods, et cetera. So
luck
obviously
with
we
that.
put the kibosh on that, which I think is what has driven this legislation down at the State House, allowing that, so taking our control away from it. And then, as I
So
understand
the
it,
telecom industry's been heavily behind it.
Right.
You can read that.
Yeah.
what they are is they're
Somehow
small.
they gave us a short period of time to address it. And that's what we're doing today. It's probably happening in hundreds of cities across Indiana today and tomorrow.
Noblesville yesterday, Carmel tomorrow.
So it came about quickly. Brian did a good job reacting. Worked with the Carmel attorneys.
Assistance.
Assistant attorney, much to Mr. Brainerd's. It was fun. So I urge that you support this.
Questions? Okay. Make a motion to approve action item number 4, resolution 17-119, 2017 underground facilities.
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded to approve action item number 4. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Do you want to sign this for me?
Okay. On to action item number 5, NDOT LPA updated contract for Monon 7.
So for the past 2 Board of Public Works meetings, this same item has shown up. Basically, the short story is that NDOT doesn't quite know what they want to do with their contracts. Another paperwork issue, we have an existing project, we have certain funding allocated for it. It's carrying over to the next fiscal year, so They originally told us to amend our existing contract. That was the first one you guys signed. And then they said, no, let's scrap that. We'll do a supplemental. So that's the second one you signed. So now they're back to creating a whole separate contract, same exact contract as the original. So the standard,
For what?
the standard red tape that you deal with when you're,
What is it for?
this is the Monon 7. So from Monon Trail Elementary to 216th Street.
How you coming on funding?
We are applying for additional funding from the MPO, which will happen, or we'll know more soon, I think. And then we're programming it, the remainder with our local funds.
Any help from the county?
Not yet, I haven't had that conversation. Mr. Al Patterson has been in and out with various surgeries, so his time has been limited.
Seeing how it's actually in the county and not in the city, it would be very appropriate. You're working.
I've had a couple conversations and I will have more. So,
What do we do? Have to approve it?
So yeah.
motion to approve the contract?
Make a motion to approve action item number 5, the NDOT LPA updated contract for Monon
Second.
7.
Have a motion made and seconded to approve action item number 5. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to action item number 6. Monon Trail Phase 6 Construction Engineering Inspection Supplemental number 1.
So Monon 6 was what was constructed last year, basically from 181st Street all the way up to Monon Trail Elementary. As part of that, it's an NDOT project, so we need to have inspection. So DLZ was our consultant that we used for the inspection services. That project had a major utility delay. I don't know if you guys recall, Mayor, you probably do, with
Probably.
the lift station, the sanitary issue along 181st, basically just west of, what is that, Sun Park?
It's, yeah, where the new Sun Park ties in and then where the Yamaha dealership is,
Oh,
just before you get
okay.
to 31.
And not to mention the gap in the trail yet,
So which is getting resolved.
which is finished last fall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically the contractor had to demob for a few months to allow that utility to get fixed, relocated. As such, DLZ is requesting a supplemental for basically the extension of that contract. It's one of the unfortunate events that are simply necessary, I guess. I mean,
So essentially the contract, or the project got delayed because of a utility conflict, thus entitling the inspectors to additional hours, which we are then responsible for.
And what is the,
so the additional is
$13,000.
$13,100.
Wait a minute. If the project gets delayed, they're not out there inspecting. So why do we have to pay more to inspect?
Well, that's where it gets a little dicey. The original plan was that there was going to be no delay, and then CEG was involved, and there was a bunch of back and forth, and it ended up being, I think, 3 months before it did get resolved. So their inspector was out there mobilized, not necessarily doing a ton of inspection because there wasn't a ton of work going on, but
So essentially the timeline of the project got extended, so he was committed to the project for longer and they could not recommit him to something else.
it's not, but it's not our fault that the project was delayed, is that correct?
It was an engineering issue, I believe, which was not our engineer. It was NDOT's engineer for the overall project, but did we hire DLZ for that?
Correct.
We did.
yep. So when you engineer a project, you go through the formal utility relocation process. I won't bore you with it, but basically the utilities say we are in conflict or we're not. This particular utility said we are not. It ended up being that they were. So it's
And what is the utility?
Citizens Energy Group.
Citizens, there's a lift station right there. There was the lines were a little higher than what was expected. So when they come to cut the grade down, to put in the trail, it removed the cover necessary on the pipes. So they had to be lowered. Or the trail grade had to change, one of the two. Who didn't?
So DLZ didn't charge us for the redesign of they also did the design, so they didn't charge us for the redesign of that trail, but they are essentially charging us for the additional time they spent in inspection.
And so I guess where I'm struggling, why is that our
Well,
bill?
Essentially, we could probably turn this over to CEG and ask them for the 13,000, and we may do that. But they're not really a party to this contract, so DLZ can't charge them, but we can in turn likely discuss
Well, I
that.
tell DLZ I'll pay it, but that's their last inspection contract.
I don't disagree with that.
I'm voting no.
Perfectly fair.
We haven't voted yet.
I know, I'm just telling you, I'm just warning you now.
Okay, Bob.
Heads up.
Any other discussion?
I'll move to accept.
I will second that. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Okay. Motion carries 2-1. Action item number 6.
History of just- Let's
I'm
pause.
glad I was here to see it.
Stand up, Kate.
Action item number 7. Grassy Branch Stream Restoration Phase 2 Board Recommendation for Design and Build Contract. Can you guys make these the titles any longer?
We can lengthen those if you'd like.
Can we use acronyms?
There you have a chart.
We've got bid tabs,
Bid tabulation.
except it's not a
Bid
formal,
tab.
it's not your
This is
standard bid.
exciting, Kate.
I know,
This is
I'm ready.
phase 2.
So these are actually scoring
This is exciting.
tabulations. As you know, you guys established a technical review committee for the bids associated with the
Remember
riparian
that?
corridor
You
work
voted yes.
last
I did.
last meeting. Bids came back in. We had 4 bidders.
Proposals.
Proposals, sorry. Came back in because it's a design build contract. It's a proposal. Came back in and we scored them accordingly. These are our scoring sheets, Phil's, mine, and also David Rubin, our landscape architect. Our recommendation is that we hire Williams Creek to do the design build project of the stream work. And then today we are asking you for, or I am asking you for signing authority to award this contract once we get the contract documents finalized. Total construction cost, design and construction is $366,851.80. And that is below our budget and was the low bid, low dollar amount as well, the lowest proposal, so.
With a design build, you're not required to take the low bid, but in this case, it ended up being that way.
How did David Rubin do?
He actually scored Williams Creek the low as well.
Did he?
Yep, and then.
All right. Interesting.
So there are 4, Williams Creek, Flatland, Cardno, who do they do this type of work throughout all of Indiana, and then there's an additional proposer, NCAP, and I think they're out of Illinois.
Yeah, they're out of state.
We used this vendor in the past for any other project?
Yeah.
It sounded familiar.
Yep, they've done some work up at Grand Park, and they were the ones who,
They did this vial swale work in front of here, and they also did the, I think it may have been a design build contract also. No, it was a wetland mitigation project at
For Bridgewater.
Freedom or Liberty Park,
Yep, when Bridgewater came through, there was,
Mud Park.
Mud Park. So,
And we've had favorable results.
yeah, they do good work. Which experience and those types of things are all weighted into the scoring sheet as well. So qualifications, years of experience.
Not just
location.
anyone can do this project.
that's correct, yeah.
Make a motion, we approve action item number 7. I'm not reading all the rest of that.
Second.
Have a motion made and seconded to approve action item number 7. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I was late.
On to action item number 8, Grand Junction Plaza demo contract for Union Street Properties, signing authority and quote for Renaissance.
Renaissance? Yeah, I didn't know how to pronounce it.
Renaissance.
Renaissance?
Yep.
Yes,
Lucky on that one, Kate.
so these are the 5 remaining parcels along Union Street that are associated with the stream work as well. We bid those projects out for demolition, which will take place assuming all the land is acquired by then, but in June, mid-June.
So where are we with the acquisition?
We own 3 of them. We have the 4th one under contract and will close in June. per their tenant's request, and then the other suit is in condemnation and moving forward, so.
Okay.
Which one's that?
Anderson.
We have rights to the property.
Yeah,
We-
yeah.
we have
Oh,
rights.
We have rights to all.
Yeah, we possess it.
Yeah, so we bid that one as an alternate, but it's
Can
included
you
in
show me
total
on the
price.
map?
Absolutely.
Sorry.
So this is the DWA office. This
Okay.
is the Cook parcel. We own these two Lewis parcels already.
Mm-hmm.
And then Anderson, or Valiant Trade Development, we got the possession order last week or earlier this week. We do have some relocation things to work out, so
Mm-hmm.
we didn't know where that one was at, so when we went out to bid, we bid it as an alternate in anticipation of having it by then, so hopefully all five will come down at the same time.
Is that just 4? I didn't.
It's 5.
Sorry. Yeah, I
1,
thought,
2, 3, 4, 5. So
where's
every
DW?
The top one.
this one right
Yep.
here.
So that one's staying?
No, it goes.
It goes too.
All
So
5.
yeah, everything from Mill Street to the bridge at Union Street will be taken
Okay.
down.
And there's no historic.
There's sentimental value.
I know the right questions to ask, don't I?
Sentimental value in this one.
There's
here.
no bats either.
No bad.
We looked into relocating it. but
Which, in the
I think he's gonna
DWA?
bite
I know
it
the one
off.
that's highlighted, my boy.
Who's that?
Brian used to
Good.
live there. but-
And
Good.
Really? Where's
Wait,
DWA
face.
going? We've
Now.
lost control.
I don't know where they're
Yeah,
going
Matt's-
yet.
Teresa's found
Kind of
a place to
historical to me.
relocate.
Well, yeah, I understand.
It's a good deal.
You want to stand out front?
Technically not classified as historical. though.
That was my question. The answer is
Hey, there's
no.
that
No,
to
the
that.
answer is no, they are not technically
But I'm gonna-
classified as
I'm gonna vote
historical.
no.
Okay.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
And we don't know where DWA is going. That's
She has-
not the
we do.
question.
She has a new place. I can't remember
Oh,
where it's
okay.
at, but I worked with Teresa probably 5 or 6 months ago. And
Okay.
let her know and gave her a deadline, so she still has through June, but
Got it.
they'll start relocating soon when she gets back from vacation, I believe.
I think it's somewhere in Village Farms.
It is.
I got a place for her. She's interested.
So what we're asking today is signing authority to award this contract, and the contract documents are in place. Low bid that we are proposing is with Renaissance, and it's $51,175. So it is well under what engineer's estimate
Yep.
was.
It's what they do for a living.
$75,000.
They're a clearing contractor.
So
So it's a
they'll-
really good price, well below the engineer's estimate.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah. We had 4 bids, 3 of them were really tight and this one was low,
Good.
and I verified
Yeah.
scope of work with them and they're comfortable, so.
Engineer's estimate was
Our fire
75.
department
All the
was
rest
down
were
there
within
in
1,000 of that.
Yeah.
Oh,
See all that?
the-
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it wasn't our fire department, but it was, they're from all over the country.
Yeah.
That's my paperweight from earlier.
Turn mine off or it will sound like a motorcycle vibrate.
Make a motion to approve action item number 8.
Second?
A motion made and seconded to approve action item number 8. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
You convinced me.
Pull up the map if you would.
The map.
Moving on to action item number 9, Community Development Block Grant FY17 Sleepy Hollow Sidewalk Improvements.
So every year we get roughly $40,000 to $50,000 for CDBG funding, Community Development Block Grant funding. I think it's administered through Hamilton County, but it's a federal fund
For now.
for now and before Trump gets rid of it. So basically, we've got a drainage project going through Sleepy Hollow. It's in design right now. We're hoping to go to construction this year. Coupling onto that project, we'd like to use that CDBG money to put sidewalks in this older neighborhood. I think I forget what the cost is. It's roughly $100,000 estimated right now. We've got well over that. We've got 120, I think, through CDBG just sitting in a fund. So this is a perfect project. It meets all the requirements. It'll ultimately connect this entire neighborhood all the way to downtown, which is important.
So are you gonna put them throughout that neighborhood?
Throughout, yep.
On both sides of the street?
Yep.
And around cul-de-sacs?
Yep. So
And
it'll,
is it in our right of way?
correct.
Yes.
So
No acquisition, it's an old plat.
what about all the residents? Are they,
So we haven't talked to them about the sidewalks yet. We've talked to them extensively about the drainage project, and they're all in favor of the drainage project. There's a lot of issues out there now, so. Our plan, if you guys, basically all I'm asking today is for your approval to apply for the funding. We have to submit the project to the feds, they'll approve it. And if that happens, then we'll probably start discussing with the property owners.
yeah,
It was requested in our public meeting about the project. One person did ask whether or not we were gonna add sidewalks. While we're in there having everything destroyed, it makes perfect sense to put them in then. The purpose of block grant money is to provide pedestrian connectivity to lower income sections of town, essentially. Not that there's anything really low income in Westfield or in this area, but for us, it's the most applicable area. Last year, we did a project on North Union, extended up from Hoover Street up to the North Walk development. That project was approved and funded. I see no reason why the other one wouldn't be as well.
You're talking about the wide path that goes along there?
Yeah.
That's very, very nice. I haven't had my bicycle on it yet, but I will.
Yeah.
Turned out pretty well.
Yeah, it turned out well. Those are block grant funds that went to that as well.
That's nice.
We would try to accomplish the same goal with this project.
as long as the neighbors want it, I'm all for it.
And obviously, if they don't want it, we will find somewhere else for those dollars.
And essentially, there's no match on our end as long as what we have programmed in CDBG handles what the cost of the project. There's no match requirement. It's not an 80-20 like an NDOT project would be. It could be 100-0, so.
Okay. Any other discussion, questions? Entertain a motion?
So move.
Second?
Have a motion made and seconded to approve action item number 9. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Brings us to the consent agenda. Anyone need any discussion or clarification or anything on the consent agenda today?
I do not.
No.
Entertain a motion.
So move.
Second?
Have a motion to approve and seconded to approve the consent agenda as documented in the report. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Consent agenda is approved. On to department reports. Chief Reed.
Just a couple things. We brought in 2 new recruits. Cook was at both of our, the initial recruit graduation, which was held at Arnold Clay Middle School, I think.
That's right.
And then a couple of nights later, we did a similar thing we had a recruit who kind of got, he wasn't part of a recruit academy, he was brought in kind of ad hoc, so we put him through the ceremony, and then we had promotions for lieutenant, captain, and we just promoted Captain Steve Moore to battalion chief. That'll be effective sometime in May, middle of May, first part of June, most likely. In case you hadn't noticed, FDIC was in town last 2 days. That whole thing's going on downtown Indy. We had 2 what they call hot classes, hands-on training classes, and on Union Avenue. Actually,
2 of the houses that were
2 of the
here.
houses. Did they get pictures of them before we burned them out?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Got some in our appraisals.
Yeah, there you go.
And then really, I guess, the things that had this week, it's like we're working for a fire department. We had a fire out at Porter Systems out there off 191st. It's like a dust handling collection kind of fire. So we contained it to that, which was good. Had an RV fire, and then of course the Regal Cinema fire just a couple of days ago.
It was a weird one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a gentleman, well, it was really a car fire in the Regal Cinemas parking lot. We had a gentleman who was clearly touched. He's struggling, so he thought some people were chasing him, so he thought the solution would be light his car on fire and go into the cinema.
Not my first, but.
Really, other than that, we should have our report systems up for you guys
What-
and be able to give you some data next month. Kind of talk a little bit. We're still trying to build all of those reports with the new CAD system. But other than that, just it's been busy, been very, very busy. So they're earning their keep this month.
It's cool the Westfield continues to sponsor the burn training.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what a big deal FDIC is, big deal for my company too.
Yeah.
And just to have Westfield doing that, and, you know, because it,
It's kind of their jam, like, that's a big deal, the actual burn and hands-on training component, that's the gem of FDIC, so it was held here, it's pretty cool.
yeah, it is. Any questions for Chief? All right,
Too many notes in my pocket.
Chief Rush?
Hi, everybody.
Okay.
Hi, Chief.
Okay, so, we had a vehicle fire at the Regal Center. Well, the interesting part about that was, we ended up having to be involved too. The guy ended up hiding in one of the theaters, and we ended up having to search for him. It ended up being a resistor, and tasers were used, and
Don't daze me.
he ended up having to go to Community North, and so there may be pending charges on that one also. So,
Don't park next to the guy.
right.
That's a lesson.
So it is kind of
Cars, right?
interesting. We seem to pair up quite often.
Story I hear
Well,
is
the
the
car
guy's
wash
watching a
is
movie
kind
and
of
gets
interesting
tased.
pattern, John, did you hear that? Like, they originally had him handcuffed and your guys went back in and patted him down and found a screwdriver like this in his deal, and I can't remember, a box cutter and everything, so it's,
So
Wow.
Thank you, East
101.
Thank you for your.
our body cams, after we did a little test on those with just a certain amount of officers, and we decided that we're ready to go full out, and we'll roll those all out department-wide May 1st. It'll actually be before that. We'll start throwing them out actually as soon as today. So, but by May 1st, we all should have them. Yesterday, we said goodbye to our chaplain, Jason Lathers. He's been serving for 4 years, and he'll be truly missed. He's really taken our chaplain program to the next level. He's a real good guy. He had a great opportunity to serve the Army full-time, so they're sending him down to Texas, so he won't be here. But also yesterday, we swore in our next chaplain, Daniel Minton. He's the senior pastor at Trinity Baptist on 191st Street, so we're looking forward to getting him started.
So for a very brief period of time, you had
We
three
had
chaplains.
3 chaplains for
Great.
about 10 minutes, which is really nice. May 9th is Coffee with the Cop at the Rail, 9 o'clock. I'm sorry. Yeah, May 9th at 9 to 11, Coffee with the Cop at the Rail. May 18th, we're starting a new outreach program. We're doing Coffee with the Cop, but we're doing them in our adult living communities. So our first one will be May 18th, and it's not really open to the public, it's just really for that site. It'll be at Sanders Glen, which I'm really looking forward to that. It was one of our goals this year to reach out to the adult communities. So we'll start with where we feel that we can do the best for Sanders Glen seems to be, in need for that type of thing, along with the one on Union Street. We'll start with those first, and then we'll go to Wellbrook and Copper Trace and the others. So,
Okay, no quorum, meeting's over.
so anyway, that's all I got to say about that.
He needs a sign.
Taylor McCorkle's in week 6 of 16 weeks. They've extended ILEA longer. So he's doing really well. He's just going to be there 10 more weeks. Then bring him back in July. So Other than that, thanks for your attention on that.
Yeah, I'm just kidding, there's a lot of.
Sleep on fire was at hand.
Porch. 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 Porch.